So our next stretch is from Hampton to Northampton. And having already checked this, I actually know that my through freight at maximum length doesn't completely fit on the main line between the end of the Hampton siding and the start of the Northampton siding. But again, that's okay because that freight is never going to go on both of those sidings. It's only going to really take the sidings if we have a meet coming up, and we're not going to have a meet at both of those locations in the same run. So depending on the timing during the op session and where the meet occurs, one or the other of those sidings will have to be taken and the other one won't. And so the fact that we don't really fit entirely between the two towns, while not ideal, because it does mean the operator's going to have to go back and try to deal with that. Certainly it'll work operationally. And now we're on the siding at Northampton. And this is also another one with a little bit of compromise to it, but there is room in the case that we have a meet here. Now the odds of a meet here, probably not as high, but it could happen that the freight is running a little late. And see, what I've done here is I've actually run past where the crossover is to get back onto the main. The reason I did that is this is kind of my worst case scenario here, where in order to fit my train, we've actually got a little bit of room. So let's actually back it up a little bit here and show you what I'm talking about. So if I have a maximum length train, we're going to back this up a little bit, get just about up to where the end of the crossover is. And now if we take a look at our train, we'll see that we're just a little bit too far. Basically our three engines would make just too much. But that's okay, because if you think about that, then worst case, we get a meet there and we'd have to stop our train, throw our switches for our crossover. We'll pretend we switched both as we properly should, and then we'll just back that up a little bit. Instead of into the main, we can back it up into the track next to the main. And let's just say there's a car there still, so we can't back all the way on. But worst case, we could back that on. And now we actually have room. In fact, if we go the other way and advance this just a little bit, let's keep going just a little further. So we are in a location where we've got room for our meet. We see actually we could actually have probably a couple cars on this spur and do that. But again, that other option being just pulling past the crossover a little bit so that we could have our meet. And that's it. After that, we don't need to test because our track doesn't go far enough to get to Portsmouth, but that'll be obviously where we'll also deal with train length.